I feel like you're really underrated when it comes to this, man. Like you've been doing it for so long, and like the number of subscribers don't really add up to what you deserve, right? Has there been anything in particular that you feel that has held you back from getting what you deserve?
Back in the day, honestly, man, it wasn't so much about creating a YouTube. Back in the day, I was trying to create my own record label. You know what I mean? I was trying to create my own Death Row Records. You know what I mean? I was trying to become, something like that, like an Interscope Records. That was my goal, to make music in this industry. You know what I mean? And found a label. And now in more recent years, podcasting and YouTube has become the spectacle to where we've seen rappers actually come into our game, you know what I mean, and start to be very successful. Why are they very successful? Because they have a history with the viewer, you know what I mean. Some people start with blogging, they don't have that long history with an artist. Now, as far as something that would have held me back and maybe not showing my face on camera consistently at the beginning, you know what I mean? Because I actually had an opportunity to be a host on $1 million worth of game with Gilly the Kid and Wallow. And at that point in time, I was not willing and able to show my face on camera, which was a very big mistake in my part. But at that point in time, I was just filming so many different artists. I was filming Gilly. I was filming Rab, Dark Low. I was filming everybody. So I didn't really need to jump on the camera at that point in time. When Rab got locked up, Dark Low and myself, we were about to start carrying the OBH torch just like Low had done the first time Rab got locked up. But yeah, we were about to start carrying it just like that, like he had done back in 2013, 2012 and shit. The thing was, Dark Low got locked up. At that point in time, I'm like, yo, Gilly blew up. Gilly blew up out of here. Dark Low got arrested. A lot of the people that I create content with have moved on. You know what I mean? Between getting locked up and Gilly blowing up, and just his time is all over the place. So that's why I started putting myself on camera more. So I think that might have been where I messed up in the beginning.
What was the reason why you didn't want to put yourself on camera? Because you were basically doing like the Vlad thing, right? Behind the camera, just talking that way.
Yeah, well, maybe one of the major things why I didn't put myself on camera was just the not having a second angle or not having a third angle, because at a certain point in time, I started using a second angle. You know what I mean? My bro C's would actually be running around with me to all the interviews, and we had a side angle, a front angle. That could have been one of the issues. Also, I never really had the setup of a podcast. You know what I mean? I never took the time to set up a pop shop. So I really was just running around to, go interview these guys at their locations. You know what I mean? Whether it was on a street corner or whether it was at a studio, you know what I mean? I never really had my own setup.
Right. You weren't like in a designated spot. Like you were like really getting it out here, just like anywhere possible, right? Like
Even to this day, it's like, you can set up in Connecticut, but when are the artists going to be out here in Connecticut? You know what I mean?
that's crazy that you were saying that you had an opportunity to be on $1 million worth of game with Gilly, right? So you do regret not putting your face on camera prior to that? Like, what prevented you from still being able to be a host? They just said that you weren't well known enough.
Well, I just didn't put my face on camera. We actually produced 2 episodes. It didn't really work out in that format. And I was going by a name of Mikey, no trace, no face. I just didn't really. I knew where $1 million worth of game was going from the first place. You know what I mean? I always believed in Gilly the Kid, and Wallow coming home was just like throwing gasoline on the fire.
Right.
You know what I mean? But in all honesty, I just didn't put my face on the camera, and it was a bad move. You know what I mean? It was a bad move, like turning down an interview with Little Uzi Vert. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just make bad moves at certain points of your career, but I just didn't expect to be on camera. You know what I mean? I've always dealt with an array of artists. Like even to this day, I've thought about setting up a podcast network for different artists. So I never really envisioned myself being on camera. Even though I had the name Mikey T, the movie star, I kind of stepped back and I was the director myself.